Good morning. It's Saturday. Just because you see me by myself don't mean I'm by myself. It's me and my shadow and me. I ain't good at singing songs. I'm good at cracking rhymes. I really ain't by myself. I'm with my friend Dan. Dan is the answer man. Remember that? Shell, Dan the answer man? We just having fun out here today and having a conversation. We're talking about activism. We're talking about doing things in the community. And this is my friend Dan.
Hey, Shorty.
How you doing? I ain't gonna ask you to tell what you do for a living, but he is very active in the community. I couldn't do a lot of things that I do in Baltimore if I didn't have Dan and his wife and his family supporting me. All right, and that's real shit.
Nah, you're totally funny, Shorty.
I do got a lot. Dan does help me with a lot of stuff, and Dan supports everybody in Baltimore. See that? He supports Kelly Davis in the day. All right, he supports Juneteenth Day. We have conversations about race and racism, and we find a lot of things that make us common instead of the things that make us different. Do we or do we not?
That is correct.
Ceasefire. We agree that ceasefire needs to come into existence, but nobody want to talk about the war on drugs. All right? We talk about the war on drugs. This ain't my house, all right? This Dan's house. All right? But Dan shares my passion, and Dan shares my pain. And Dan likes my pets. I got to keep you motivated. This is my rat. Ratatouille. All right? That ain't Ratatouille. Don't get me for that trademark infringement. Don't get me for that. All right? This is just my rat. And we're going to take you on a journey for justice. Y'all charged me with terrorism, and I was an activist. I am an activist. I'm an activist. I'm a community member. I'm a father. I'm a lot of things in Baltimore, but I'm not a terrorist. But since you charged me with terrorism, I'm going to terrorize you with the truth. Truth speaking to power is something that white America don't like. And since I'm white, I can do that. All right? Because I'm going to use my white privilege today. I was born in Lake County, Illinois in 1959. That's a birth certificate. That's legal. All right? Waukegan, Illinois. St. Therese Hospital. You feel me? Dwayne Gerald Davis. Male, 12/26/59. It say I'm white. It say my mama white. Say my daddy white. It say I'm white. So I'm using my white privilege. All right? And I used my white privilege on February the 2nd, 2011, the day my mother died. I blew the whistle on white America and the war on drugs. And I went to your city hall. I went to your city solicitor. And that's your state's attorney's office right there, Greg Bernstein. February the 2nd at 8:52 a.m., I went to the state's attorney's office, and I turned in white America for killing black America. Nick Mosby know all about it. Marilyn Mosby know all about it. That's Nick Mosby. Back in 1959, they had dogs, and they used to sick dogs on us. Your Freddie Gray, your Tyrone West, your George Floyd, is my Emmett Till. You feel me? And I don't care about dogs like y'all do. Kicks dog's ass. That's how I treat Whitey. That's my dog. I also use toilets, and I use rats. I'm art and activism because I couldn't beat you. I couldn't beat you with 1 million people, but I can beat you with toilets. It's the power of the people. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention, and they pay attention to dumbass shit. That's why I use the toilet. I also use your campaign signs, because I told y'all to take your campaign signs down. I put my whole life on Nick Mosby's sign. I put everything I've been doing on Nick Mosby's sign. And we're going to talk about Gov.O'Malley, 98 Robt. We're going to talk about your politics and your politicians. You feel me? What's up? Let me ask y'all a question. I don't see no white people on this garbage truck. You know what I'm saying? You see any white people on the garbage truck? Do you see any white people cutting grass, laying concrete? So if you took black and Hispanic off the board, what Baltimore gonna look like? Hey, y'all got any white people doing garbage? You ain't got no white people on the payroll? I bet your supervisor white.
Why not?
Your supervisor? You see what I'm saying? What's up? Martin Luther King taught y'all back in the 60s that if you go on strike, if I don't pick up your garbage, I can shut your city down. If I don't cut your grass, I can shut your city down. You feel me? If they went on strike, Baltimore shut down. Straight up. That's the power of black people. All power to the people. You feel me? Know your worth. In Chicago, Mayor Daley kept his power because he kept the streets clean. Now you can check it out. I'm from Chicago. I know Mayor Daley. Man, Washington, Harold Washington, that's where I get my politics from. In Baltimore, y'all 10 years behind the game. Y'all thievery and fuckery is so open, it's just ridiculous. But like I said, I'm gonna use my white privilege to talk about y'all. Like I said, I put my whole life on the board. I asked for Martin Luther King's job on February the 2nd when I turned y'all in. And I gave it to my politicians. I was making a movie. That's Clinton Kelly. That's George Clinton. That's Dwayne G. Davis. Shorty's Pit Beef and Rib Shack. The Ridge Country Store. And he's in the movie. You're in the movie. The movie was about our politics and our politicians. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. And they pay attention to our politicians. I feed our politicians because I started right here with this little grill. Right here. Per your request, when I was at your store, I got a sandwich about 10 days ago. Enclosed is the Sundance Film Festival submission. That's the Sundance Film Festival. That's the Shorty documentary. That's the Shorty documentary. That's the Shorty documentary. That's your sons and your daughters, because I didn't want you scared of black people. You feel me? I was making a movie about race and racism. And Gov.O'Malley approved it. It's called Get Shorty. You feel me? Right there, Dwayne G. Davis, 11950 Falls Road, Cockeysville, Maryland. That's my store. And it says Get Shorty. And you got more Shorty than you can stand. Now, Corey McCray know about it. You talk to the Oreos. I know the Oreos. I know Gov.O'Malley. I was making a movie about Gov.O'Malley's prison industry. All right? And that's the IRS, because I want to audit. We're going to count your money. We're going to count the money in Shellenberger's office. We're going to count the money in Bobby Zirkin's office. We're going to count the money. We're going to see who got paid for locking black people up. Because these white people and my white self, as black as I am, you can't even see me in here. I just look like a shadow. But we was talking about race and racism. That's Pollard towing. That's a body attachment. And I ain't got paid my property yet. That's my film producer, Rob Fix. And like I said, I told you to take your campaign signs down. You go ahead and park right there. Park right there.
Sure?
I'm positive.
I'm just going to take the turn a little bit anyway.
All right. No worries. See Addie? That's Addie and her family. Addie and her family did the thing about free Shorty, let him go. That's the Maryland House of Delegates. Y'all asked for a public working group on policing. I am talking about policing, and this is my submission. That's Kathleen Hughes, TV One, Radio One. I work for Kathleen Hughes. This is Marion Barry's birthday party. That's Shorty's, the big fat morning show. Mark Clark. That's 98 Rock. That's Jeff Majors. That's Lori Penzick from Fox 45. That's Vicki Lawrence. And I'm getting ready to show you y'all's hidden assets. The money you make off of black bodies. Because see, I own Shortys. I own all parts of Shortys. The Office of the Governor, Exhibit 2. That's from 2007 because I was making a movie about your government and the government. That's Blagojevich. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can Gov.O'Malley. That's Dick Gregory. That's Billy Murphy. That's Dick Gregory. That's Billy Murphy. That's Mary Wells from the Supremes. That's Governor Schaefer. That's Antonio Hayes. And if you go to Senator Antonio Hayes, he got my documentary called I Am Dred Scott. It's a screenplay and a movie. That's Ozzie Newsome. That's Ed Mulitolo from the Ravens. We are employing any and all appropriate officials in the state of Maryland to assist Shorty in this effort to achieve complete justice. And I ain't got it yet. And these are the people that support me. That's Bill Ferguson. He ain't opened his mouth about this. This is the Shorty Program. self-help organization for the redevelopment and re-education of the young. My program advocates for the following measures. The biggest deterrent to bullets is a good paying job, developing skills that are marketable, affordable for our citizens' abilities and their talents. You feel me? It's the Shorty Program, and Schaefer approved it. And it's all right here. Police accountability. Address the corruption in your courts. Address the fact that you're protecting corruption. This is my booking card. I went home on vacation, came back on probation. You locked me up in 2 states and called me a terrorist. Racism 101. You can contact anybody that's on this board, but that's my Department of Justice number. I'm an activist and I'm a filmmaker. I'm black in America, and this is my submission for the working group. You might not like what I do, but you got to respect it, because truth gonna speak to power. The state of Maryland participated in this fraud, and y'all owe me. You gonna pay me. You can pay me now, you can pay me later. But we're gonna start filing class action lawsuits because Shellenberger is sitting on the bench, and you knew Shellenberger was dirty. You going after Mosby? You need to go after Shellenberger, because since 2008, everything that he touched is gonna be reversed and remanded. You're gonna have to address that in your working group. Shellenberger kidnapped me. I was stolen. I'm a whistleblower, and my paperwork is right here. These are the cases that you need to investigate. And when you look at them cases, you're gonna see why Shellenberger's kidnapped me. I blew the whistle to the States Attorney's office right here. So you should have never locked me up. And you can't produce that evidence that I gave you. Nick Mosby and Marilyn Mosby been shielding this. And that's my rat. And that's my dog. And that's your campaign sign. You tied to this. You feel me? You tied to this. Everything that I've been going through, you knew all about. Policing Accountability Work Group, this is my submission. You feel me? This is my submission. I got everything I need. You go to Governor Hogan and get my paperwork. You go to the Department of Justice and get my paperwork. You go to Scott Shellenberger and get my paperwork. You go to Judge Turnbull. You go to Judge Cox. You go to the court, Chief Justice Roberts, and get my paperwork. Go to President Trump, get my paperwork. It's for your workshop. Mike, check! Can you hear me now?